Efforting doesn't matter. You need direction and focus. That's one of those ones that I think so many people struggle with. They talk about, and I will be the first to raise my hand at this one, but they talk about how much work they're doing and how busy they are and all the things that they're doing to, get ahead, or they're in the gym 3 hours a day or 4 hours a day and nothing changes. Absolutely nothing. Week in, week out, month in, month out, year in, year out, they're the same. Because effort and effort are different things. But more than that, you need discipline and you need focus. It's not just going in and being in the gym and doing stuff. It's about the concentrated effort. It's about how hard you're pushing it. And this applies to everything in life. But I always think that, as always, fitness is that gateway drug, is that opening thing that teaches you, well, absolutely everything you need to know from life. It teaches you all the characteristics, all the skills, all the mental clarity and focus that you need to build your best life. That's why we started fitness, because it translates into everything else. It's like I heard a great one today, and it's so true. If you go to the richest areas, you'll notice the number of fat people drastically declines. And that's because there is a direct correlation between the ability to commit, the ability to show up no matter what, the ability of follow through and discipline and grit and mental toughness that comes with being in great shape also translates into other areas of life. Sure, you could have developed those skills from other areas and then translated them into health and fitness, but for most people, if you don't already have it, the quickest and easiest way to develop them is through exercise and fitness. But so many people are like a fly trying to get out. They're just banging against the glass, over and over and over again. They're efforting hard, they're giving it all, but with no discipline, with no focus, with no clear picture of where they're going. They're just banging against the glass going, I want to be out there, I want to be there, I want to be there. And, ad hoc throwing shit at it rather than getting a clear and specific plan, getting focused, getting dialed in and doing the work. This is where you need to get to with it. You need to, as I said, you need to have the 3 criteria: effort, intensity, and consistency. Even with a bad fucking program, if you give those 3 things, you will get there eventually. But rather than going a shotgun effect and spray and pray, get it dialed in. Get disciplined and focused on the things that truly matter. And watch as everything starts to happen. But the problem is that, you don't want to dial it in that hard. You don't want to have that focused thing. You're looking for the answer, but you're not accepting when someone gives you the answer. The amount of times I've shared on here the exact blueprint I use. The exact blueprint. I'll do it again right now. The amount of people who've taken it and actually done something with it, 0. The amount of people who then pay me and get the results, astronomically higher. It's about actually getting in and doing the work. It's about actually getting in and doing, what is required with intensity, with consistency, and with effort. You have to show up with those things, but you have to have the discipline and focused and not get sidetracked and not get shiny object or the next great thing or whatever it might be. You need to be consistent with what it is, because every time you change, every time you jump ship, every time you move on to the next thing, you're starting again from 0. if you just stuck with it, if you'd actually just continued with the one program, you'd be so much further along. And especially if you're searching for perfect, especially if you're constantly looking for the perfect plan, the perfect option, everything needs to be in the perfect alignment, my ducks in a row, whatever it might be, it's never going to happen. There's never going to be the right moment. There is never going to be everything set up and perfect. There is just here and now. And how many times are you going to skip past now for future now? You just have to get in and do it. And I know that's why people struggle with it. That's why people don't want to do the work, because, well, it's confronting. That the answer is just do the work. Well, I've said it a million times. The cheat code to success is doing the work. The fastest route to getting everything you want is doing the work. The quickest way to get the results is to do the work. It's that simple. Like, it really is. The answer is do the work. But people don't want to hear that. They want, 7-minute abs or 28-day transformations or whatever it might be. No, if you want actual results, you want results that actually last, it takes time, it takes commitment, it takes follow through, it takes consistency, intensity, and effort for an extended period of time. But that's not sexy. It's not exciting, and it's not a quick sale. But I don't want to sell you on something that isn't actually going to change your life. I want to transform your life. And that is going to cost money, time, and effort. You have to figure that side the fuck out. You have to figure out that side of it. Because you throw in like penny pinching or, trying to, penny pinch your time to find the quickest answer. Well, you would have been there already if you just invested a bit more time. And I had a guy comment on one of my videos the other day and he's like, I just don't have time. I was like, well, clearly you have some time. Because you're sitting here on YouTube watching my videos. That time could be utilized getting results. The average adult spends between 6 to 10 hours a day in front of a screen. I only need an hour and a half a day, and you will get phenomenal results. It will change your life. A lot of people are like, an hour and a half a day, that's a lot. Well, that's 2 workouts. That's conditioning and actual building of your physique. 2 workouts a day. Hour and a half. But, I don't want to give up that time. I don't want to invest that time and effort and all that kind of stuff. Well, let me ask you, what are you getting from it now? What are you currently getting from that time that you're investing or spending or utilizing? All that time that you can't use to improve your life, your health and fitness, the lives of those who love and adore you, to become the greatest version of yourself. If you don't have time to invest that, well, what are you using it on? I would hope the answer is building, a legacy in some other area, but I'm guessing that's not the case. I'm guessing you aren't spending every waking second building something of incredible value for your family. Are you? Because I know I chastise myself all the time because I'm not. That I still piss away time and it annoys the shit out of me. And every day I'm trying to get better at it. And every day I'm trying to work on it. And every day I'm trying to progress this forward so that I don't continue to utilize valuable time in a wasted scenario. Utilizing it on something that will never provide me value. But you have to get past this point that you have to stop wasting time on busy work, stop wasting time on research or whatever it is you're doing on Instagram or TikTok or those kinds of things. No, you have to get in and just do this. You have to get in and do the work. Like, it's not fucking rocket science here, guys. And I had another guy comment on one of my videos, and he's like, well, you sound like you're on the brink of insanity. Spending time with your family is the greatest thing you could ever do. And money doesn't bring that back and all that kind of stuff. And I was like, well, clearly, mate, you've missed the point. You have missed the point of my videos. You've missed the point of what I am saying. Because I wholeheartedly agree. In fact, I think it should be one of your main priorities is spending present time with your family. But if your health isn't in order, and if your wealth isn't in order, and your relationships aren't in order, well, you can talk about that all you want, but you are not giving the best to your children. You're not giving the best to your wife. You are just showing up. And most people call their quality time, they're still on their phone. They're still doing stuff. They're not actually present in the moment. I would rather give maybe an hour of my time a day, but be so present and be so connected and be so with my family, than be like, well, I gave 5 hours, but I'm over here and I'm stressed about money. I'm stressed about, how I can't actually get down on the floor. I'm stressed about how I can't actually play with my children, all this kind of stuff. No, I'd rather have dialed in the other aspects of my life during that time and be able to be fully present and committed in that moment to my family. Because that is more valuable than junk time. Most people give garbage time to their kids. Oh, I spent lots of time with them. Did you? Did you actually? Or were you sitting on your phone the whole time? Were you present? Were you watching them? Were you playing with them? Were you interacting with them? Were you giving them your full attention and giving them everything that you could? Or were you just in the same room as them? Because that's what most people talk about when they talk about family time. No, we do things together. We interact. We play. I talk about my fitness. They come with me. I made this a family affair. They know how important working out is. They know how important being active and healthy is. So they come for my weighted walks. And to the point where they now have their own little weight vests. Not because I forced it. Not because I was like, this is what they want. No, they wanted to be like mummy and daddy. So that's what they did. They've got their own little weight vests. Look, they're like a kilo. But it's about 10% of their body weight. I think my daughter's is 2 and my son's 1. Yeah, that's about right. It works them hard, My 3-year-old son, well, he's only just 3, can walk 2 kilometers. Then we have to put him in the pram because he gets tired. But still, that's more than some adults walk. That's more than actually a lot of adults walk. The goal is 10,000 steps. Most adults never come even close to hitting 10,000 steps. But my son does. My daughter does. They're toddlers. It comes down to effort, discipline, and focus. We're present, we're part of it, and we encourage them, and we're teaching them, and we're sharing this focused, driven lifestyle because it builds satisfaction, it builds happiness, it builds joy. Yeah, it's hard in the time, but overcoming hard is great. My daughter is already learning that how good it feels when she completes stuff. How good it feels to overcome. That's the greatest fucking gift I could ever give them. If that is the only thing I succeed in teaching my children, I feel I have done a great job parenting. So yeah, I am present. Yeah, I am a part of that. And I already recognize that I am blessed beyond measure. Because I spent, from my early 20s, actually, from 21, building out a life and a business so that I could be fully present. I come home and spend multiple hours with my children every single day. because that's what matters to me. Yeah, family is important. It is like my number one value. But so many people talk about how important family is and how important their children are and all this kind of stuff. And then they're fat sacks of shit. They don't want to do anything. They sit on the couch and stuff their face, eating and drinking and watching the game and whatever it might be. And don't get me wrong, I love watching sport. You know, it's the NBA Finals right now. But I have shit to do. So that doesn't matter right now. Watching someone else live out their dreams is not more important than chasing mine right now. Is not more important than leaving a legacy for my family. We have to make choices here. And if you aren't in great shape, I'm here to tell you that you don't love your family as much as you think you do. Because you are making choices, and it might not be today, might not be 5 years or 10 years or 20 years, but you are making choices that are easier for you that will have a negative impact on your family. That is just unquestionable. You say that they mean everything to you, act like it. Get into the best possible shape. Look after your health and fitness. Act like that stuff matters. And teach them, lead by example that shows that it matters because their health matters. Or are you going to set them up to have problems in their health and fitness as well? Juvenile diabetes is on the rise. They reckon that 2 out of 3 children will be overweight or obese by 2030. That's not you loving your family. That is you neglecting them. That is you not doing the work that is hard. That is you not making the right choices for them, for yourself, for everyone involved. You need to get disciplined and focused and look after your health and fitness. Lead them by example. Give them the tools to have the best possible life they can have. And yeah, it's uncomfortable. And yeah, it's going to be hard. And yeah, you aren't going to enjoy it during the moment. But the outcome on the other side of that is worth its weight in gold. Trust me. That comes from someone who was bullied to the point of suicide for being fat, for being overweight, for not having those skills ingrained in them. That shit was fucking awful. And thankfully, by whatever intervention, my father decided for some reason to buy me a weight set. And that one single act changed my life when I was 14 years old. Saved my life. And put me on a different pathway. And that's something that I am going to set up my children that they will never have to go through. They'll never have to learn how to compartmentalize that, how to deal with that. That just being fit, strong, healthy, eating good food will be normal. And that's how it should be. But it comes from you figuring out your discipline. It comes from you figuring out your focus and doing that work. So are you going to be the change maker? Are you going to be the one who sets the standard and who helps your family and everyone around you realize how important that health and fitness and discipline and focus is to leading your best possible life? Are you going to be that guy? Or are you going to be the one who continues to pass down that generational suffering so that they have to deal with it themselves? Because you're in control. And it doesn't matter at what stage you make this decision. I've had clients who were in their 60s who got into the best shape of their lives. They got fitter than their children. And then all of a sudden, lo and behold, their kids are like, oh, well, I'm going to start exercising because, well, mum and dad are fitter than me. But it starts with you. It starts with you making that decision. So if you are ready for that, if you are ready to step up and become the man, to lead by example, to stop efforting and wasting time, but to be driven and focused and have a disciplined goal, and then see the most incredible results. Because I promise you, I'll hold you accountable. I'll hold you to the highest standard, and we will make it happen. And click the link in the bio. Join Demanding Greatness, and let's see who you can become on the other side. When you're ready for it, I'll be waiting. Until then.